Nithyanandam, this is Ma Nitya Dhyanatmananda Swami with Swamiji's blessings, His Holiness Paramahamsa Nithyananda. I make this video today about the idea and concept of wealth that we carry and how important it is to the life we live. I was struck by a Facebook post which basically was circulating um, the last words of Steve Jobs. I don't know 100% sure if these were the last words, and I remember this was circulated in 2015, and it really struck me. So I actually want to just open with reading what Steve Jobs said at the time. This was basically right before he left the body. It says, "I reached the pinnacle of success in the business world. In others' eyes, my life is an epitome of success. However, aside from work, I have little joy. In the end, wealth is only a fact of life that I am accustomed to." At this moment, lying on the sick bed and recalling my whole life, I realize that all the recognition and wealth that I took so much pride in have paled and become meaningless in the face of impending death. In the darkness, I look at the green lights from the life-supporting machines and hear the humming mechanical sounds. I can feel the breath of God of death drawing closer. Now I know when we have accumulated sufficient wealth to last our lifetime, we should pursue other matters that are unrelated to wealth. Should be something that is more important. Perhaps relationships, perhaps art, perhaps a dream from younger days. Non-stop pursuing of wealth will only turn a person into a twisted being, just like me. God gave us the senses to let us feel the love in everyone's heart, not the illusions brought about by wealth. The wealth I have won in my life I cannot bring with me. What I can bring is only the memories precipitated by love. That's the true riches which we will follow. You company which follow you. Company you, give you strength and light to go on. Love can travel 1,000 miles. Life has no limit. Go where you want to go. Reach the height you want to reach. It is all in your heart and in your hands. What is the most expensive bed in the world? Sick bed. You can employ someone to drive the car for you, make money for you, but you cannot have someone to bear the sickness for you. Material things lost can be found, but there is one thing that can never be found when it is lost: life. When a person goes into the operating room, he will realize that there is one book that he has yet to finish reading, Book of Healthy Life. Whatever stage in life we are right now, with time we will face the day when the curtain comes down. Treasure love for your family, love for your spouse, love for your friends. Treat yourself well, cherish others. Now this was what Steve Jobs apparently wrote right before he left the body. In Nitya Satsang, just a few days ago, Swamiji also discussed the topic of wealth, and he's discussed it many times and given so much clarity to people. There's so many workshops where he goes into this whole concept of wealth and how our understanding and relationship with wealth, the accumulation of wealth, really determines a large part of our life. And for many of us, it is the central part of our life. Actually, I'll read an excerpt from the Nitya Satsang. And Nitya Satsang is basically where Swamiji comes live daily and gives discourses on many great truths and shares his wonderful insight with humanity. Swamiji says, "The false sense of ownership of currency-based economy is a conspiracy against humanity. We should get back to the fundamentals, survival need-based economy. What we need for existence, those items should be the currency. They should be the material which is exchanged, not the false promissory notes, which finally gets reduced to just electronic zeros, not even notes. The false confidence you cherish because of the ideas of currency, the false wealthy feeling you cherish because of the ideas of currency, these cognitions let you down so badly, you do not recognize you've been let down till you die." His Holiness Paramahamsa Nithyananda, Nitya Satsang, July 12, 2017. God, when I read Steve Jobs' last words, I felt so bad. I was thinking, this was such an unnecessary end to his life. I didn't feel bad that he left the body, per se, because death will come for all of us at some point, and it's something we all will go through. But it just felt from reading his words, he did not have to come to this conclusion, like Swamiji said, right when he was about to die. If he had the clarity in the right context when he was living, he could have realigned his life to what was actually important to him, which wasn't the accumulation of wealth. And this happens to so many people. This gets projected on Facebook and social media because it was Steve Jobs, one of the most wealthy and most successful people in the world. But so many other wealthy people who are successful, are just people who are success in their eyes, maybe not even wealth. They struggle with this. They strive for something which society had told them was the most important thing, and which society judged them by, and which not just society, family, friends, everyone valued them because of what they acquired, what they accumulated. But when life hit them, whether it's being diagnosed with cancer, whether it's a death in the family, whether it's some other type of illness, the wealth did not solve those problems. So that's why it's very important to have the right understanding in relationship with wealth as early as possible, so you don't fall into these really sad situations where you end up chasing something, thinking it's going to give you something, and actually doesn't give you anything that's of value to you. That doesn't mean the answer is you have to drop wealth and become a monk or a renunciate. No, that's not the solution. It may be the solution for some, but for others, where you want to continue in this so-called matrix or this outside world, it's very important you understand why you are doing what you're doing, and is it actually fulfilling you? Is it fulfilling other people? Then if wealth comes, it's perfectly fine. It's a byproduct of something greater. And with the context of something greater, you'll use that wealth to not just meet the needs of your life situation, but to help humanity. Then when the time comes when you do have to leave the body, you won't have this regret or this cognition that this wealth did nothing for you, because it wasn't the central part of your life at any time. It was a means to an end, but it wasn't the end-all be-all. There was something more to your life. So it's very, very important that all of us look in and check our understanding with wealth. Now, Swamiji gives so many insights. I'm just giving a very high-level insight that Swamiji has shared. And there's so many videos on Swamiji's YouTube channel, youtube.com/Nithyananda TV. And I'll actually create a playlist which has all the wealth videos. And there's constantly Swamiji speaking on wealth, because unfortunately or fortunately, that is the biggest maya for crime done against humanity. This whole concept of a currency-based economy based on these basically nothing, this paper. And most of the times, most people don't even end up winning in this game. Other people end up winning. And those people, actually, what we find is they're not even happy with whatever they acquired. So the whole thing is a fraud. The whole thing is just ready to collapse, actually. But before you get to this point, please check out these videos. Please attend Swamiji's workshops. In fact, there's one this weekend called Paradox of Freedom. So in this workshop, it will help you not just understand necessarily your relationship with wealth, but give you context for life and the life you're living and your understanding of life. Help you question and look in and make sure you are aligned to what it is you really want. That's all we can do. Then from there, the clarity and understanding that comes will influence your decisions and how you live life. So I really encourage everyone to attend. It's available at hundreds of centers around the world. So please check out the website. I'll provide it in the site. And please attend if you resonate with any of these concepts. I mean, many people have told how, you understand that money isn't everything, but still somehow it ends up being a central point in our lives. So it's time we disassociate that importance we put on wealth. And there's a way to do it, and there's a way to do it systematically and do it without having to drop it. Once you change the cognition you have on wealth, you will have clarity on how to accumulate it, enjoy it, and live a life with or without it. So that's the true freedom. So I really encourage you to make this a priority, because just like Steve Jobs had to face, this is not something you want to face towards the end of your life. At least he had this clarity right before, but some people won't even have this clarity. So I just wanted to share these few thoughts and encourage you to watch Swamiji's videos on it. It'll give you so much clarity and healing. It's not just an intellectual understanding. It's really, you'll have healing on this topic, and you'll have action on what you can do to get out of any wrong relationship, wrong cognitions you have on wealth. So thank you so much for listening. And if you have any questions or comments on it, please do share. And thank you again so much. Nithyanandam.